And we're back on Southeast Texas Weekly. Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate you very much, and we hope you'll contact us on social media as we continue to talk about politics. You give us the questions, and we will get the answers from these professionals. Kent Batman, the Hardin County GOP chairman.
Hi, Kevin.
Great to see you, sir. GOP meaning Republican, for those of you on the left who don't know this just yet. Also from the left, Eliot C. Hall, one of the best guys you'll ever want to meet. Great American.
Oh, thank you.
Great
thank
to
you,
see
Kevin.
You like that endorsement of Great American. What do you think of this president trying to buy Greenland?
I think it's insane.
What's that really all about? Was that ever a serious proposal in your view?
I don't think it was a serious proposal. I'm not sure where it came from, but there are plenty of people who live in Greenland who don't want to be bought.
Well, that also might be coming into the discussion, yeah.
Denmark doesn't own Greenland, but they're who he's talking to. Apparently, he asked for an invitation for official state visit. He brought up the Greenland thing. She said, "Well, that's nuts." And now he's saying, "I'm not going to go now because they were rude to me." So he's rejecting the invitation he requested based on this spurious attempt to purchase Greenland.
And you think it's all about publicity and a way to divert publicity.
I think he does a great job of bringing things up that will never come to pass.
But are you proud of this? Are you saying that you're proud of this president for this?
Nobody has been more fun to watch as a president than this guy, who plays the left like fish all day long.
Fun to watch?
There's a reason we make disaster movies. The people like to watch the Titanic because it sinks at the end, not because everyone lives. So yeah, it's fun to watch. It's just scary.
And you think that the president had some views regarding publicity possibly in mind when this controversy came up about the two congresswomen, Democratic congresswomen, part of the squad.
Omar and Tlaib. It's just like this.
They wanted to take a trip to Israel. Go ahead.
They did. They wanted to take a trip to Israel. Supposedly, Tlaib wanted to visit her grandmother. When Israel said, Israel denied it first because her itinerary said she was going to meet with Mithra, which is a funder for terrorist groups. Netanyahu said, "We don't allow you to come in and meet with funders of terrorism." He said, "However, we will let you come in and visit your grandmother if you promise not to visit that group." And then she said, "Well, I'm not going if you're going to tell me what I can do."
Is that the way it rolled out?
Here's the deal. They were going to go to Israel. Israel did not reject them until Trump had posted a tweet saying, "Well, it's a shame to let them come over." And the fact is, Israel lives at our largesse. They get $4 billion a year from us, millions of dollars a day. They have free health care, and they have free university and abortion on demand, which are all the things the Republicans hate. And they don't have a right to reject our elected representatives, regardless of their religion. The congresswomen who are trying to go over there are elected representatives, and as long as they expect to keep getting our money, they have to take our representatives.
So other than the U.S., Israel would fall into the sea.
Without the U.S., they may fall in economically. The reason they survive is because they have enemies all around them that they're fighting constantly. Right. And some of those enemies are partners with these two, not because of their religion. There's a lot of nice Muslims in Israel that get along just fine.
They have the most capable military in the region, including nuclear war weapons, we understand,
So
even though they don't participate in the nuclear proliferation treaties. So we don't really know. They're not open about their nuclear program. But there's no doubt they're the most robust military in the region, and they're doing it with American-made armaments.
And isn't that a great thing? Because they are, our best allies. They're great people. Besides that, many people think they're God's chosen people, so they get a lot of support from us.
Good thing to have an ally, I suppose, in the region, right? Because there are some bad actors in the region.
We have allies all over the region, but sure, you're exactly right. There are some people here who act adversarial towards us. Nobody's going to forget the terror of the 9/11 terrorism attack, which is why it's super mysterious that the homeland of the terrorists, Saudi Arabia, is being given so much technology now. Why we're giving them so much weapons technology when they are the ones who raised up the group that attacked us.
Are you saying that the country of Saudi Arabia was involved in the raising of the money?
No, I just said all those people came from Saudi Arabia.
They could have been from California.
Every one of them came from Saudi Arabia, not
Iraq.
California,
and we wouldn't throw California in the whole mix.
No, you're exactly right. But the fact of the matter is, under the idea that there are bad actors and we are providing all the weapons over there, the most stringent military capabilities are coming from the United States.
And yet they flew airplanes into our buildings, didn't use our weapons.
Right? Okay, there was that. He's got you on that one, doesn't he, or does he?
Well, no, I didn't say we were sending the weapons to our airports here. We're not sending the weapons to Boston. We're filling them over to the Middle East.
Yeah, I know, but they didn't use those weapons. They
No,
used
you're
airplanes
exactly.
when
They didn't
flew
use
into the
those
buildings.
weapons.
And
There's
they
no-
don't need them. When you've got radical terrorists that don't mind committing suicide, they'll come up with a way to kill you.
Underlying the idea of the president attacking and or criticizing, however you look at it, with this group of 4 congresswomen who are women of color and who are some of which have identified as Muslim women, is this question of whether the president is racist. Is the president racist against the squad, as they are called in Washington?
Everyone has to draw their own opinion on that. I think lots and lots of people see racism in the president's attitude. I don't know if the president is really a racist or if he just likes using racism to promote a cause. I've heard him say time and time again, these women are hateful. They hate Israel. They're hateful. They want to destroy stuff.
Well, hate America is what he said.
I haven't heard these women actually say this. It's not
I've
anti-Israeli to question the sway of AIPAC.
Well,
it's not
referencing the 9/11
anti-Israeli.
attacks,
Yeah.
they said somebody did something.
Yeah, I've got a tape, and you can listen to it on YouTube, where she's comparing Al Qaeda to the United States, saying why should we refer to Al Qaeda in a negative way while we refer to America in a positive way?
Well, you'd have to have that tape here for us to discuss it thoroughly, because
Well,
I
we
haven't
can't-
seen that tape. I have seen the thing where she said some people did something, and yeah, she may have said that in a dismissive way, but people are using that one sentence out of an entire speech
Okay.
that was filled with context
we
about
use all kind of
anti-Muslim
speeches.
discrimination.
We use all those speeches, but we use only one at a time.
Sure.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break. We're coming back. The president says he is the chosen one. We'll find out what this is all about after this break. Stay with us. And we're back. The president says he is the chosen one to handle the trade war with China. In fact, is he the chosen one? I mean, some would argue, what do you mean? You better be the chosen one, because we're in some degree of difficulty regarding our trade issues with China. We get a lot of products from China. They get a lot of products from us.
300 electoral votes say he was chosen. 304.
Well, okay, there's that.
Chosen to solve the trade war? Sure. You break it, you fix it.
Okay.
So he of course he should do that.
There's no question that trade with China has been broken. I mean, you can't look at the patent
But
infringement.
who broke
and say
it? He's
things
saying
are-
who broke it?
It's been broken for years. I'm certain. Seriously,
Well,
you have a good patent and you file it, China duplicates it.
The soybean farmers' markets did not go to Russia until after Trump became president. The poultry farmers did not go to Russia until Russia is now dealing directly with China when it comes to soybeans.
Have you
because-
looked at the historical price of soybeans?
Absolutely not. That's
didn't-
a strange question.
I know, but it
to
ties
ask.
into this because
Let's
if you
hear
notice,
this.
I know
soybeans
that-
are right where they are on the curve.
The
And by the way,
soybeans are
it models-
rotting in the fields. They're burning down silos full of them because they can't afford to move them to market
That's
because
not
there's
true.
no one to
You can't
purchase
find
them.
a single silo that's burning down because they can't sell it. It's going for about $7 a bushel.
Once again, this is one of those things where I wish we had references available, but there
Yes,
was just a
you
guy.
need to bring those
There
next
was just a
time.
guy on talking
too.
about how
Yeah.
he could not afford to take his stuff to market.
Well, let's
because
just
there
tell the
wasn't
people,
enough there.
hey, look at the historical price of soybeans. Notice how it follows crude oil, and it's right on line with where it was. It really hasn't changed much in this whole negotiation.
Well, would you be, in fact, pleased and be willing to vote for President Trump in 2020 if, in fact, he is able to work out the issues with China? $300 billion worth of tariffs involved in this one?
If that were the only thing that were questioned about the president, yeah, that would be something he could be proud of. But there are quite a few other issues dealing with this particular administration.
Couldn't knock him off the horse on that one, so I'll try something else.
Well, see,
Same
I could
you,
vote
by
for a
the way.
Democrat for president. None of these guys.
Here's what I'm going to use on
Harry
you.
Truman.
This payroll tax cut.
Yes.
All of a sudden, the president wants to buy American votes now that we're just this close to the election time. Is that not what a payroll tax cut is? How in the world did the payroll tax cut all of a sudden pop up as something interesting as we come close to an election?
I don't know. I didn't like it when Obama did it. I don't like the idea here. Here's what happens with payroll taxes. That's an estimate of what your taxes are going to be at the end of the year. We have percentages. Those are already in the bills that were passed. So if you have less held out of your check this week, at the end of the year, you may not have enough to pay the taxes that you owe.
You don't have a
It
problem with
happened-
the tax cut, huh?
I don't really have a sophisticated opinion when it comes to taxes. I'm not very good at numbers or stuff, but I do know that tax cuts are brought up before elections. I remember Trump was talking about across-the-board middle-class tax cut
And it
before
happened,
the midterm
and the
election.
economy boomed.
And student
Before the
loan
midterm
forgiveness,
election,
by the
after
way.
the rich guy tax cut, he talked about an additional across-the-board middle-class tax that never appeared. It never
Rich
materialized.
guys that I know had a big tax increase, but I know a lot of middle class guys that got a lot more money. And by the way, I do file those taxes. We calculate them, and the deductions went up for the average guy.
Went up.
The deduction.
Deductions went up for the
I'm sorry,
average guy.
deductions went down.
Down for the average guy.
Yeah, thank you. Exemptions went up.
On payroll taxes, it's supposed to be a stimulus for the economy. Does the proposal for a possible payroll tax cut from the administration, does that say the White House is desperate, is becoming very concerned about the American economy? As we get into this talk about inverted bond yields and
That would
whether the
happen for an
recession's
hour, by
coming.
the way.
The-
The inverted bond yield. It was
It
very,
what?
very, very temporary. It was like an hour.
Oh, okay, yeah, well, okay, there's that. But it looks like it, I mean, it's very close. The 2 and the 10 year, looks like they're very close there.
For an hour.
But no, seriously, is there a economic downturn on the way for America, and is the White House getting jittery feet back in the pocket?
There's absolutely no downturn for the economy. Okay, and no, I don't think he has jittery feet. But what he does is he negotiates. He goes in and says, I might pay as much as $500 for that table. When you get in to buy the table, he's at $400. He starts out with these ideas. He tries to bring people into the discussion. They're a little more open to it.
Unless you're Denmark, in which case they're not too
They're
open to it.
not open. But they don't own Greenland anyway.
That was an interesting conversation, that whole Greenland thing. The payroll tax cut, if it's wise for America, if it's not wise for America, it's certainly a dramatic departure from what the president had talked about. He wants tax relief. We've heard that from the campaign, but actually doing something in that category was something that you would think could have come up in the first 100 days if it were something he was very serious about.
If he was serious about it and if he thought there was a concern, he would lower the tax on crude oil, the highway taxes. You'd have a huge immediate effect when gas prices went down at the pump.
Yeah. Immigration policy. Are you concerned that migrant families in this country are not being treated fairly when they come into the United States? They are coming in under an illegal status. There's families, in many cases, we're finding a lot of unaccompanied minors that are not a part of a family, but we're also seeing, yes, as always, tens of thousands every month coming in that are part of families. Is this a humane policy to keep families together, or is it an inhumane policy that's going to keep families together forever and ever and ever? Final quick words.
That's a really tough question. I don't know how anyone can look at the camps that are down there and not see the misery that's happening and not feel bad about it.
And we got to go. We got to go on that point. See you later.